out right away here and show you what we're seeing here. It's going to be a little hard to see because we're behind this fence here. We are right beyond Terminal 1, but you can see ahead of that, they're still setting up signs behind me here. You can see a lot of signs saying all kinds of messages. Yeah, I was so excited to come here this morning, and I definitely was not disappointed. We were walking around this morning looking at all the food here, the rides and the games. A lot to see. 6:46 this morning, still a lot to come. We are now just 48 hours from the North American eclipse. Thousands of people without power. The issue is that when wind gusts get above 25 miles an hour around that area, they can't go up in the bucket trucks. Let me show you what we're seeing here in this neighborhood. We do know that no injuries have been reported so far, which is really just amazing because I want you to take a look. You can see that plane still down in that grassy patch behind me, kind of flipped over now. And then the idea here is that you have this other sheet behind it. You want to face away from the sun. Again, there's instructions on here. As inflation rises, it really seems practical for people to want to spend less money, but the thing is, that doesn't actually seem to be the case. Bacote was convicted in a 2007 murder. He was sentenced to death, but now he's arguing that that death sentence was mostly based on racism and discrimination here in Johnson County. And they told me that it didn't matter as long as they had state winning. They didn't care where they placed anybody else on that bracket because they really believe in their team this year. You cannot do that today. It has to be counted by the end of today, which means you have two options right now. You can either take that to your polling place and hand it in person. A packed gym full of inmates, hearing spoken poetry from someone who spent time in prison himself.
I realized that my time in prison was a lot of things, but the main thing it was a revelation that any of us could be more than what we imagined we were before we did the worst thing in our lives, right?
Nash Correctional Institute welcoming Dwayne Betts to read some of his work on Friday. He's the founder of Freedom Libraries and the Inside Literary Prize, a competition where inmates across the country read 4 books and then pick a winner.
It introduced us to books that we wouldn't normally read.
12 prisons across the country are doing this. Nash Correctional Institute is the only one in North Carolina. Nearly 24 inmates had a few months to read 4 books and then pick their favorite.
It has opened my mind to a new dialect and broadened my horizons to where it almost creates a link between me and other people that I wouldn't normally have conversations with.
A job they say took them far beyond prison walls.
You know, like I say, reading is escape, but it also is a way for you to travel to places that you wouldn't normally be able to go. See, one of the books was about Afghanistan. I know I'm probably never going to Afghanistan, but now I have some insight into, you know, what their culture is like.
Leaving them not only with a finished book in hand, but something else.
I actually like the rabbit hutch the best, and I liked it because it showed the contrast of working class America and different mental states and the hopes and dreams and thoughts, and at the end it left something open for hope.
Inmates from the 12 prisons chosen across the country will all pick their favorite book, and then the winning author will be announced in June. In Nash County, Deana Harley, CBS 17 News.